Hello class, my name is John Fansler. I am a student here in the class with you, and I'm going to put together a little video. This video really helped me kind of explore and demonstrate to myself a better understanding of some of this SQL comments. So I'm just going to go through it one by one. Tell me if you like this. If I got something wrong, please let me know. That's the only way we're really going to learn. But I hope you enjoy this. So what we're going to go over is the 6 SQL retrieval clauses. Um, those 6 clauses include select, from, where, group by, having, order by. We're also going to go into some joining, some inner joining, outer join. I'm going to show you some of those firsthand. That way we can really get a better understanding of what the text is talking about. So for basic tables, I build a basic table. I have 2 tables here in a database called Classroom. Um, for a database, I put a bunch of training data in here. If you want to see that data, if I just want to pull up my database and see all the data in my database, what I would do is I would select asterisk is a column or an attribute. So I'm saying I want to select all columns and all attributes. That's what asterisk means. So asterisk means all these guys right here. So I want to select all these tables, or all these columns, I'm sorry, all these columns right here from the student table. So you can see that I have a computers table and a student table. If I put computers table in here, I would see all the data for computers table. But I want to see all the data for student table. So I select that, hit F5, I see all my data for my students. If I switch that and I said, well, I want to see all my data for computers, I'll go in here, type in computers, highlight it, select F5, and now you see all my computers that I have in here. So that's all cool. We can see all the data, but what we really want to do is we want to start pulling that data and making it useful. If I have thousands and thousands and thousands of rows of data, it's going to be really hard if I pull up everything. I might as well just have an Excel spreadsheet. But now what I want to do is I want to pull up my students. I want to pull up my students. I want to start drilling down further. So what I want to do, here's all the different operators you can use. You can use equals, not equals to, greater than, less than, greater or equal, less than or equal. This will kind of help me filter through some of that stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the columns and all the attributes from the students table. I'm going to say where in location name, that's the column that I want, in location name, I want equal to DC. So I want to see all students that are located in DC. I execute that, and they're my students from DC. So that's cool. Say, for an example, I want to do Nevada, just because that's my home state. Nevada, highlight it, hit F5. I got 2 people from Nevada. So that's all cool. So, but we want to kind of drill down a little bit more. We want to start grouping things. So on this example, what I did was I wanted to go ahead and group by location. So I wanted to make sure that all my students were grouped by location. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select location name. So I want to do that location data from the students table. And I want to group by location name. So I want to group all of them together. So I'm going to highlight that, hit F5. So now you'll see that I have 1 entry for every state, but I only have 13 entries. I have 16 students, 16 or 17 students. So what that means is the states that are doubled up, like DC, like we showed earlier, in Nevada, are added in this column too. So they're only going to show 1. It's not going to show 2. It's not going to show duplicate data. It's just going to show 1. So this shows me all the states that I have people from. Okay, that's cool. So now I want to do a little bit of having. I want to see what states have duplicate entries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say select location name. So I'm going to do that location name again from student, that table. I'm going to group by location name. So I'm going to group it by the same thing, but this time I'm going to say having a count. So having a count of location, that location name has 2 entries. So what this is saying is count, use the count function, and if it has 2 entries in location name for the same thing, list it. So I select this, hit F5, and these are all my states that have duplicate entries. So that's cool. I can change this. If I had places that had 5, 10, 15 different entries, I can change that to a number. I can do a lot of different things. So the function, this count, you can also use sum, average. If I'm trying to do anything with like money or anything like that, I can do it on here with my having. So then there's order by. Order by is super simple. Basically, I'm going to order that data in my table. So again, select all the columns or attributes from the student table. I want to order it by the student ID. So basically, what I want to do is I want to numerically order these from 1 to 17. And that's what you see right here. If I wanted to do by student name, I can alphabetically do it. So I just put name in there, highlight F5, and now they're alphabetized. Super, super easy. So that's it for the 6 SQL clauses. Super easy. They're super basic. I hope that kind of gave you a better understanding for the clauses. And now we're going to go into inner join, outer join. Inner join, outer join, I think is pretty cool. Once I got it, once it kind of clicked, I got it. It's kind of hard to read that stuff in text and understand what they're talking about. So what I did here is, again, you'll see that I have a computer ID right here. This is my student, and if I highlight that, I'm going to run my computer table, and you'll see all my computers right here. Well, what inner join outer join does is basically I'm going to select the student name and computer manufacturer. So now I'm going to kind of take a attribute or a column from one table, and I want to take an attribute and column from another table. So the student name is from my students table, and my computer manufacturer is from my computer table. So I want to see these two. That's all I want to see. And I'm going to say from student, because that's where the left student name one is. I'm going to do an inner join because I want to join those together. And I'm going to join the computers table. Then I'm going to say on student, which this is my table, dot computer ID, this is my foreign key, is equal to computers dot computer ID, my primary key. So if I highlight that, hit F5, I get the student name and their computer manufacturer that made their computer. Pretty cool. The only thing you don't see on here is you don't see the nulls, right? You don't see, okay, what about the 17th person, Mike? He didn't have any computer, and so he'd have any entry, so it said null. And if you want to see that again, we can just pull that up by selecting here, hit F5, and you'll see Mike down here doesn't have a computer. It's null, and that didn't show up on my inner join at all. It didn't say Mike at all down here. So what I want to do is if I want to see that data, if I want to see all the students and I want to see all the computer manufacturers, regardless if there's entries in there or not, what I can do is I can do a left join. This is where you start getting to outer joins. So my left join takes this right here. This is left, this is right, left, right. It's going to say select the student name, the left, and the computer manufacturer, just like before. I want those two columns to view from student. Now I'm going to do a left join select and then do on student. So everything's saying on student ID. Make sure that your foreign key and your primary key are on here matching. So when I do that, select F5. Now I see Mike, and it's a null. So it's taking that student name, it's listing all the student names because I want to join all these regardless of what it is. Now I want to do a right join. Right join is just the opposite. So just the opposite, I want to see all the computer manufacturers now. I don't want to, some of these computer manufacturers aren't assigned to people. So when I said a right join computers, when I said a right, so that's this guy right here, is pulling up all my computer manufacturers and then showing me the nulls also. This could be helpful depending on your application, but it's still kind of basic. All this stuff is still kind of basic. And that really covers some of the basic stuff we're talking about this week in this week's forum. Like I said, if you have questions, let me know. If you have comments, let me know. This made it really easy for me to understand, and I really urge you guys to like kind of get out there and start pushing buttons because it'll really help you understand. Um, but if you have any questions, again, let me know on the forum. Just reply my forum and I will get right back to you. Thanks a lot.